And I am the founder and CEO of Purpose Creations, as well as the founder and head chairwoman of the Purpose Ubuntu Vibration. And I believe that us creators will change the world one mind at a time simply by living with purpose. And that is why the name of this channel is Living with Purpose, because my goal, my purpose is to teach others what I've learned through my experience on YouTube about living with purpose. Teach you how to find your purpose, how to not find yourself, but define yourself. So thank you for tuning in to episode 2. I am really excited to film this episode because this one is going to be an introduction to me, like an intro part 2 explaining my life, basically the past year, because this past year, what I call the year of 21, has been such a phenomenal year. Like there's been so many crazy things that have happened, and it's all happened so fast, and it's all because I decided to change my mind and therefore change my life. So in order for any of the things that I will be teaching in future episodes to kind of resonate or make sense, or to kind of prove that they have value and it really works, I need to share with you my story of growth and just changing my entire life, changing my life, and like building the life that I really wanted and building myself into the person who I wanted to be. So let's get started. It all starts, like with life, there's really no start, to a story. It started when I was born, but I will start the story in December, or like the winter of 2017. The setting is Addison, Illinois. I'm from Addison, and that is a town of like 36,000 people. I don't know if that's a lot or a little, but it will be different depending on who's watching this because everything is relevant. But it starts in Addison, Illinois. So we can start with how everything kind of started falling apart. Because I believe one quote that really resonated with me was that your life has to, and if you're trying to, everything from the old life has to die in order for the new life to grow. So it's just like the seasons. Like we go through fall, everything has to fall apart so that like new growth, everything has to fall apart, then die, that's winter. And then springtime comes and it gets back, we're planting seeds, summertime, it grows, it sprouts. So we'll start with wintertime when things started falling apart in my life. So I guess the beginning was, I don't know, this is the beginning of things falling apart, but basically me and my boyfriend broke up. That was one of the first things that happened. I had a 1995 Toyota Corolla. Now, mind you, I was born in 1996, so that car was older than me. Like, if I could find videos or pictures of that car, his name was Charles, by the way, like, y'all would just laugh because whatever. But shout out to my dad for getting me that car. I'm still grateful. It was my first car, and it was getting me places, you feel me? So I ended my relationship ended pretty bad. My car broke down. Then my grandma got really sick, so I started taking care of her. I moved in with my grandparents, and I was basically like the live-in nanny. And that was like a very scary, sad time for me because it's my grandma, and I'm very close to her. And then I lost my job. I was working at a luxury travel agency downtown Chicago. It was a really cool job. I would have to take the train every day, go to downtown, walk around with all the business people. And I basically created itineraries for millionaires. These vacations that I built were literally no less than $80,000. You feel me? And it was never in the United States. It was always going to other countries. Super cool. But I lost that job, and they literally called me and fired me. And then another job I had, they emailed me to fire me. It's come on now. But anyway, So all this bad stuff kept happening, and that was basically my winter, and that's very symbolic because it's like that's the time of things dying. So the winter was kind of messed up, and then spring came, right? Winter, spring? Then spring came, and I went through another kind of sad experience that had me messed up, like, emotionally. But then my grandma started getting better, and I decided to move in with my parents. I moved back in with my parents, and I was at a point where I was, like, super lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do, you know. It had been kind of a year since I was in school. I damn near was about to go to AmeriCorps and go, like, overseas and just be Mia Teresa, you feel me? Mother Teresa, just go help poor people, because I did like doing that, still do. But I really had no idea what I wanted to do, so I just started working 2 retail jobs. Shout out Akira, shout out Style Encore, and all the people I met there. And then I started taking a class at a community college of DuPage, and I literally just took anthropology because I was into that. Like, I'm into studying humans, so I was like, I want to learn something new, you know, why not try that? So I was very lost, though. You know, I was going through some sad stuff internally. I was not happy with who I was inside. I was feeling really lonely. All my friends were out of state, so, like, I was just all around really sad and in a low place. So I was like, you know what, I need to change my life. And this is what I talked about in the intro. I need to change my life, and I'm going to do it through knowledge. So what new stuff can I learn? So that led me to go into the public library. Now, at the library, I wasn't looking for anything in particular, you know, and that's the best time to find something when you're not looking. And this book stuck out to me. The book was called The Thunderous Silence. So that book changed my life. Thank you to the author. And basically, it was kind of an intro to Buddhism and mindfulness. So it was very well put together, talking about how to become more patient, how to meditate, how to clear your mind, the importance of knowing thyself and clearing your mind so that your outer reality will be clear as well. Hey, stop! I'm sorry, the way she just... I'm so sorry, my dog be having me cracking up. Back. Okay, so I literally read that book, and I started taking the advice of doing yoga, meditating, becoming non-reactive. Ooh, that's so important, becoming non-reactive. And I started seeing a lot of changes just through the meditation, just through the guidance in that book of, like, not reacting, being more patient, realizing that everything you experience out here is a result of what's in here. So I realized, like, okay, I'm to blame for all this stuff. You know, you kind of have to be harsh on yourself. And I realized I'm the blame for all of this stuff that's going on. Nothing out here, the world is not affecting me, I'm affecting the world. And so it's like a give and take type thing. So I was like, you know what, I need to change. So that's what brought me to YouTube. So shout out to the channels, you are creators. Shout out Abraham Hicks, It's Your Universe or something like that. Infinite Waters, those are all the channels that I was watching. And I've always been really into psychology, the human brain. Like I said, humans just, you know, excites me. It's cool to learn about myself. And so I started learning about the subconscious. And that will be the next video, the next episode that I post. The subconscious mind, realizing that you can reprogram yourself to become a whole new person. So I started doing that. And so one of the most important things that I learned was fear. That fear is not real. Fear is just like a subconscious defense system, you know, because your subconscious's job is to keep you alive. So it wants you to keep doing the things that have been keeping you alive. That's why when you have an idea to go do some crazy stuff, your subconscious is like, okay, let's just hold on 1 second. This could happen, this, you know, like all the bad things come up. That's what fear is, because it wants to keep you alive. So I realized that, and I was like, okay, you know, I really want to do something new. I really want to change my life. And so, you know, I was just going along with everything, taking my class, working, whatever. And I asked for a sign. Like, I was just out meditating one time, and I just asked, like, can I get a sign? Like, just show me, like, how am I supposed to change my life? Like, should I keep doing this stuff that I'm doing? And most of the stuff I was doing was influenced by my parents, basically telling me, you just need to go to school, you just need to, you know, work your way up somewhere, you know? And so I was like, I really don't want to be doing that, but I was trying to respect my parents and maybe listen to them for once. And so I was just like, damn, I need a sign. So this is where the story really gets going. So one day I invited one of my best friends from middle school. Like, we knew each other since like 5th grade all the way through high school. And for some reason I invited him over and, you know, to smoke. And my family is not big on smoking. A few of my cousins are, shout out to y'all, but the rest of my family, they're like, cannabis is, what do they say? The devil's lettuce. So they're really not into smoking. I am, like I said, when I went to college, stoner. So, yeah, we were smoking in my backyard, and somehow the odor got into my house. So when I went to work, I got a furious text message from my mom saying, like, you need to come get all your shit and go. Like, you need to leave. We can smell the smoke in here. Like, your sisters are here. You know, she was very disappointed. So one part of me was like, damn, I'm really sad that, like, I hurt my mom that way. But the other part, I'm not gonna lie to you, was like, this was the sign. This is it. Like, what are the chances that this would happen? You know, like, come on, I never smoked over there before. Never smoked by my mom's house. Nothing. So, like, what are the chances? I was like, this is the sign. I knew that was the sign, me getting kicked out. So, you know, I was sad that I hurt her, but I was, like, pretty happy inside. So I went home, I got all my stuff, and I went to the friend that I got caught smoking with. And so we were just kicking it, and I was just like, damn, like, you know, I have nothing to lose, and why don't I just, like, change my whole life, you know? And this is a side note. So me, and if you relate, please tell me, because I need to know if I'm human or what. I used to always daydream or, like, visualize right before I would go to sleep. So I would create realities in my head, kind of depending on how I felt, you know? So I would really look forward to going to sleep just for that. So I was telling my friend, you know, like, there's one reality that I think I could make come to life. And I see myself in, like, a warm place, you know, somewhere by a school, like, somewhere cool. And I was thinking, I think it's California. You know, I've been to California a couple times. I really like it there. I think I'm gonna move to California. And they were like, I'm not sure about that, you know, like, are you sure? And I was like, I don't know, I think so. So, and then I was telling that friend, I was like, look, at least I went to college. I was away for a year, but you've been in this town, like, for your life. And mind you, that friend is, like, the king of the town. Like, he's super popular there. But I was like, you know, why don't you try something new? Like, why don't you come with me? And he was like, no, probably not. Like, I don't know, but I'll let you know. So I was like, okay. So then I moved. I had to stay with one of my friends who lived in Rockford. Now, Rockford is like 45 to an hour away from Addison. So I had to quit both of my jobs. I dropped out of my class, and I just went over there because that was, like, the only place I could stay. And we were just chilling, and I kept doing my journaling, I kept doing my meditation, you know, just kept doing the self-development, listening to the videos heavy. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna move. And you know what the sign was? I had another friend that was in San Diego, and they were like, listen, you can stay with me until you kind of get on your feet and stuff, you know, if you want to come out here. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I bought myself a $50 ticket one way. Shout out Southwest. Yes, $50, Chicago, San Diego. And I was like, I'm going to do it. But a very important key to that process was that I did not tell anyone. I told the person I was staying with, I told my best friend, and I told my soul sister, India. But other than that, I don't think I told anyone, especially not my parents, especially not my family. Because I didn't want their fears projected onto me. Like, I don't know if you have family, but you tell them you're gonna go do something and you're really excited, and they just bash your dreams. Like, not all of my family is like that, but I have a couple people who are, you know, would be like, no, you're gonna die, there's crazy people. So I was like, I'm not gonna tell anyone. So I turned 21 and my ticket was booked for 5 days after my 21st birthday. So it was just amazing. Stop eating the walls. No. Come here. No eating the walls. No. You're gonna have to come sit with me. Stop eating the walls. No walls. I'm trying to do a video. Okay. She's eating my walls. So, that sounded kind of weird. All right, where was I? All right. So I did not tell anyone. So I planned for my birthday to see my aunt that's really close to me, my grandma, my mom, and my dad, and obviously my sisters. And so I told all of them, like, hey, I'm moving to California tomorrow. And they were like, what? You know, the feedback from like my grandma was like, there's nothing but nuts out there. Like, you don't need to go out there. You know, very fearful. My aunt was pretty supportive. She was like, you know, okay. My parents, same thing. It was pretty, you know, positive reactions. They were just like, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to do that? And so I was just like, I really want to start a business, and there's events out there. There's so many events. I think it's really a really good opportunity for me. I believe that you have to plant yourself in wealthy soil. Like, from what the videos were telling me, your environment, you absorb your environment. So if you want to become a rich person, you need to surround yourself by rich people. So I was like, I'm gonna go plant myself in wealthier soil. So stop. No. She's steady getting into stuff. Okay. No, don't look at me like that. So I was like, I need to plant myself in wealthier soil, so I'm gonna go to California tomorrow. So my mom took me to the airport. And once I got to California, all I had was what the last 2 paychecks had given me. So all I had was like $500 to my name. And it was really like $450 because I had to buy my ticket there. So I got there, and I was planning to stay at a hostel like my first night. And the friend that had said I could stay with them, once I got there, they were like, listen, my dad said you can't stay with us. Like, I don't know what happened. There was like a miscommunication, but it ended up, I got there and I had no place to stay. So I was like, wow, that's awesome. But I was at a point with myself where I was like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I am protected. I am a good person, so good is meant to happen to me. So I was like, it's all good. It's going to work itself out. So I stayed at one hostel, and then I went to downtown San Diego to stay at Lucky D's hostel. Shout out to them. That's a really cool place. If you don't know about hostels, I'll make a video about it. But basically, it's a dorm-style hotel, and you can only stay there if you're from out of state. So literally, I met people from all over the world. I met people from Italy, Paris, Venezuela, Spain, New York, you feel me? So I met all these dope people that I still speak to today. And I literally had like one of the best 2 weeks of my life at that hostel at Lucky D's. So it was just like a lot of going out, sneaking into hotels, like rooftop hotels, going to the beach, just doing a bunch of really fun stuff. And after a while, I was like, okay, well, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do. So I was trying to apply to work at the hostel. I was applying at different clubs, restaurants, like really anywhere I could, but you know, focusing in events because I really want to do that. I didn't want to settle for anything else. But I wasn't getting any calls, like nothing was really happening. And so it was like, I had like maybe $75 to $100 left. And I was like, shit, what am I gonna do? You know, like I don't want to go back home. That's not an option. So what am I gonna do? And so this technique really works. I decided to use a mantra. So this is exactly what I said, and this situation blew my mind. So I said to myself, I'm going to find somewhere to stay, and it's going to come right on time. It's going to be better than this place that I'm at, Lucky D's Hostel, and it's going to be free for a little bit. So I would say that every day, and for like maybe 2-3 days I said it, and I really decided to just be calm. Like these were all things that I learned and I will teach y'all about manifestation. And so I just kind of let it go. I wasn't searching too hard. I was not freaking out. I feel like anyone, like, other people would be freaking out, but I was not. I was very calm. And so this day was just so crazy. My friend that I was telling to come to California called me and was like, yo, I'm gonna be there in 2 days, and I found us a place to stay in LA. I was like, what? Are you for real? He's like, yeah, like one of our friends from back home, who I actually went to elementary school with, but I didn't ever talk to the person. He's like, yeah, they have him and his brother have an apartment in Hollywood, in Los Angeles. And they said we could stay there until, we find a spot. And I decided, like, you were right, I want to come out there and experience new stuff. So I was like, yo, this is the craziest thing ever. Like, let's go, come through. So he gets there, we have a fun, like, we turn up for a couple nights, and then we take a bus from San Diego to Los Angeles. And if I can find the photos and videos, I'll post them up. But the place we were at, the place that these two friends were living, was in the hills, okay? Literally.
That means extra.